Nigeria's former President Olusegun Obasanjo says those behind the rumored death of President Muhammadu Buhari are abnormal human beings. Chief Obasanjo, speaking through his special assistant to Channels Television, Mr. Taiwo, describes the death rumor as wicked, callous and treacherous. The presidency has since refuted the reports which have been circulating online and social media by releasing pictures of the president in London when he's spending his 10-day leave. Chief Obasanjo calls for prayers and best wishes for President Muhammadu Buhari instead of spreading rumors of his death. Moving up north now, the Kaduna State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria and the Jama'atun Nasrul Islam have called on the state government and security agencies to arrest and prosecute those responsible for the attacks in the southern part of the state. The groups also appealed to the citizens to shun any form of reprisal attacks. They made their positions known during a peace advocacy visit to the offices of the officials by the state government. In his remarks, the Secretary General of CAN in Kaduna State, Reverend Sunday Ibrahim, said he wants the state and federal government to prosecute anyone involved in the crisis. He also called on Christians to ignore those inciting them to carry out reprisal attacks.
We are still calling on the state government and the federal government that whatsoever that is happening at the federal level, I mean at this, at the southern part of the state, now whosoever that is involved, I say again, whosoever that is involved, such a person should face the full wrath of the nation. And I think that's the only way we can come out of this. But please, we should not be one-sided, because the report that is just like we keep saying, when you arrest 50-something people and one group is released to go, and then you keep it, it looks somehow. But like I said, the wall is there to be our referee.
And we're talking to the imams and to the localities, telling them, look, go to Kapancha and see. You are now, even if you don't have a penny, at least you are moving around. You may have the money that you cannot even buy the food. So what comfort are you? You are not enjoying anything. So we try to educate them. As I said, government help us do it. The press help us. Even if they bring any figure, try to because by the time you are telling figures and so on, people would decide to mumuna mini.
Handing you over now to my colleague in Abuja, Gloria Mezoke, who has more on the news at 10. Hi, Gloria.
Thank you, Marachi. It was a drama-filled investigative hearing today at the proceedings of the House of Representatives Committee on Federal Capital Territory probing the Centenary City project. The former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, who was at the hearing, accused the chairman of the committee, Representative Herman Hembe, of pursuing a personal agenda with the exercise. The House committee is investigating alleged irregularities surrounding the Centenary project launched by the President Goodluck Jonathan administration.
It's a packed hearing room in the House of Representatives filled with former government officials, federal lawmakers, contractors and concerned Nigerians. They are invited to this investigative hearing organized by the House of Representatives Committee on the Federal Capital Territory, which is probing allegations of irregularities in the Centenary City project. The Centenary City project was initiated in 2014 by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan and was projected to stimulate foreign and domestic investment. However, there have been allegations that the allocation of land to the developer of the project did not follow due process. But the investigative hearing got off on a shaky start when the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation made his presentation.
Mr. Chairman, I want to put it to you that you have personal motives, and I will state the two motives clearly. One, you have told everybody that cared to listen that when the former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission accused you of demanding bribe from her, you pushed for her sack.
Point of order.
And I refused to sack her as Secretary to Government.
Point of order. Point of order.
And so, hold on.
He was cut short midway.
Mr. President, to use the platform.
Then allowed to continue.
Mr. Chairman, we only discovered your game plan for the postponement when you started sending messages to the managing director to come and see you privately. It was after all your efforts to get the managing director to come and see you privately failed that you confirmed this date. I want you to know that nobody will see you privately, and we are here for the hearing. Good. We'll have the hearing. Good. Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the committee, distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that Mr. Chairman has a deep-seated personal interest and bias in this matter. And so he is not in a position to guarantee fair hearing to myself, to the Centenary City management, and indeed to the entire subject matter. I accordingly demand that Mr. Chairman should disqualify himself.
My ruling here is that I am going to preside over this public hearing, and this public hearing will continue. Yes. I so rule.
With calm restored, the hearing continued. The committee members were briefed by those summoned that the Centenary City project, comprising 1,267 hectares of land, is owned by two companies, namely Basic Start Company Limited and Company First Limited. But with allegations of bias by the chairman of the committee, who has refused to stand down, there are questions bordering on the credibility of the entire exercise. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Ahead of the 2018 population census, the National Population Commission is seeking to review some of its laws that will enhance its operations during the exercise. To this end, the chairman of the commission, Eze Durihoma, insists that the commission needs a new legal framework that will determine appeals or objections arising from the outcome of the census results.
Gathered inside this auditorium are federal and state commissioners of the National Population Commission. They are here to review the Commission's legislation ahead of the next year's census. The delegates are seeking to generate a framework that will enhance performance, improve efficiency, and remove impediments in the effective operations of the Commission.
In the light of experiences gathered over the years, and propose amendments, reviews, or even outright repeal, it therefore follows that there must be corresponding changes in the legal regime guiding the Commission. By this workshop, we seek the opportunity to incorporate these draft bills and other amendments or other reviews to the National Population Commission Act.
The Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Bala Bantex, points out that Nigeria's growing population requires an up-to-date legal framework for effective management.
Nigerian population has more than doubled from 1991, when it was 88.5 million, to the current estimate of 190 million within the last 26 years. This substantial change in the population cannot be managed by legislation formulated 30 years ago, as there is need for a review of the legislations to accommodate this reality.
The chairman of the House Committee on Population, who also attended the forum, promised to fast-track the process for the passage of the framework.
What is important is that all the laws that we have, some of them are obsolete. We need to change them. We need to move ahead. So we want to see what they will come up with, and then we'll give them every possible assistance to make sure that they succeed.
New and comprehensive ideas from this gathering will help to remove all loopholes witnessed during the last census exercise in 2006.
In order to ensure a smooth transition for travelers to and from the Abuja-Kaduna airports, the federal government says it has set up a committee to put in place an effective security system for that purpose. Well, this comes as the government plans to close the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja for 6 weeks to renovate its runway. The Minister of State for Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, explained that the committee will be charged with the responsibility of ensuring safety on the route for the period of the renovation.
The major functions of this important committee, as it were, it's number one, to provide security at the Abuja and Kaduna airports, including air and rail transportation, of course, and road. To also monitor traffic movement from Abuja to Kaduna Airport and vice versa. Of course, inclusive of the road that links the two junctions in Kaduna and up to the airport, i.e. Nnamdi Azikiwe Road, known as Western Bypass in Kaduna locally, and of course the Mando Airport Road as well. To also provide security to passengers and cargo between Abuja and Kaduna Airport and vice versa.
Still ahead on the news at 10, the federal government's economic recovery growth plan sets to commence by the end of February. Well, that's on business news. Let's join us again.